has a hamstring injury. We're just not sure of the extent of the injury at the moment. He'll be scanned over the next 48 hours and we'll have a clearer picture.
Are you hopeful he'll play against the All Blacks?
Look, to be honest, it's too early to tell. We got him off pretty quickly. He felt it wasn't as bad as the one he did last year, and pulled up quickly. So I guess it's it's out of our control. We'll just wait until we get the scan result and see how he is.
Rob Carney, has he?
Rob's not too bad. He was a bit uncomfortable. Someone just landed on his rib, and he was a little bit sore from a previous knock. And I don't know. We'd be pretty hopeful that he might be okay for next week.
Can you put your finger on what went wrong?
Yeah, I'd put a few fingers in a few different spots, really, to be honest. Even at the start of the game, we kind of missed our first touch, then missed our first line out, and didn't quite get the access that we were looking for. Then I think there was a degree of defensive naivety, but I felt we were right back in the game at half time. I thought at 15-12 we'd put a fair bit of pressure on, and I felt we were probably a little bit unlucky not to get a little bit more reward. If we did make a line break, the next ruck was inevitably slow. It was very hard to get them off the ball post line break, or particularly in the 22. And while those penalties accumulated and resulted in a yellow card, it did certainly make it very difficult to play on the front foot.
All the Australian teams have been together for a long time, and this season have played a lot more matches than it. Did they feel like a really battle-hardened outfit when you were in the close quarters?
Yeah, certainly. They've probably played a half a season of Test match rugby, all against excellent sides, strong, heavy sides that test you every week, and they probably learned a lot more about themselves in the last few months, obviously, than we have. And you could tell that. I mean, you read Leinster players for the last few years talking about accuracy in every interview they do, and the way we started the game wasn't accurate, and that doesn't spread belief throughout the team, and that was disappointing from our point of view. We need to be accurate if we want to deliver what we intend delivering with Ireland under Joe, and that was disappointing from our point of view. You could see a lot of what they were doing at scrum, line out breakdown. They were very accurate and very, very hard in everything they were doing.
How much of a bearing, Joe, does this have on next week's game? Is there a lot more work to be done than you thought?
Yeah, there's no more work to be done than I thought. I knew that we were a work in progress. I think I described us as that last week and pre-match. And I'd concur with what Paul said about the Wallabies. I think under Ewan they've shown a real progression. And first out, I think they bore 47 points from an All Black thumping in Australia, and they've kind of come through that. I think for us, it's really important to take stock of what did happen tonight, and try to plan and then deliver on what we need to do for next Sunday.
Paul, how do you go about lifting your teammates before you play the best team in the world?
I think there's a lot of experience here. It's everyone's own job to lift themselves and look after themselves, and there's a lot of disappointment in there. There's a good core group of leaders there, a good core group of top class players, and we have a lot of belief in the coaching staff, a lot of belief in ourselves, and we're disappointed with what we delivered today, and we'll be making sure there isn't a repeat of that next week.
Joe, are there any positives you can take from it?
Yeah, I mean, even at the end, we did deliver a couple of line breaks that we didn't get anything off the back of. I think we did show some resilience in that second 20 minutes to get back into the game after the Wallabies had scored 2 early tries. We were a bit rudderless in the second half, and that's no disrespect to Ian Madigan. He hadn't had a lot of time in that spot during the week, and when you're a newly put together group, I think it is going to take time, but I can assure you that there'll be some intensity on Sunday. There'll be some work that goes into it during the week. and that's all we can assure people of, because it's tough for us to take, well, tougher for us to take than anybody watching it. And I think it was fantastic, the support we got tonight, and I'm disappointed for them, and I know the players are as well.
Last question.